first grade. This week we're coloring our robots. Finally, it's color time. But we are going to be using very specific coloring skills. So behind me, you can see 3 circles. One is colored with burnishing, one is coloring with layering, and one is coloring with blending. Doing these 3 different advanced coloring techniques help your artwork look even better. So check out how we start learning how to do these 3 techniques. All right, so we're gonna be coloring our robots today. We spent the last few days making the robot, adding the background. Some people may want to go in, like Mrs. Hops has already done, and trace their robot with like a black marker to make it a little easier to be seen and kind of like a coloring page, but you do not have to. If you have time, it's always a good idea to trace it. But you're gonna color. For coloring, I would recommend just using simple crayons. You don't need anything fancy, but crayons are my favorite thing to color with. Color pencils will work really great too. And I'm gonna teach you some coloring techniques that you're going to need to use for the future. Every section of your robot will get colored. So when you wanna pick a color, let's say I'm gonna use blue for my robot's head. The best thing to do is to try to keep your crayon going in the same direction when you are coloring. It makes it look a lot neater. And if you go nice and slow when you get close to the edge of your shape, it'll help you stay in your lines. So I go back and forth, I'm going slow, I'm taking my time, and when I get to a small section or to the edge, I go really slow. I keep my crayon going up and down across the whole shape. That's really easy to do in a small shape, but becomes harder to do in a big space like the sky, for example. Then when I come go around these areas, if I need to go just the opposite direction in a few spots to stay in the lines, I can. But this lets me go nice and slow and stay in the lines and make sure that my artwork looks really neat. So I'm going to show you a couple other techniques today besides staying in the lines that you can do in your drawing to make it look even better. The first technique is I can use this same blue crayon, and instead if I push as hard as I can with it, you'll see the color gets much darker. This technique is called burnishing. Burnishing is really good for making a section really dark, but it's hard to do in a large space. You can see the big difference. It's the same crayon, but 2 totally different looks to it. So burnishing is where you push as hard as you can. It'll make your color look nice and dark, almost like a pastel. Another technique that you can do is, say you want to mix colors. Say I've used blue a lot, and Mrs. Hops doesn't like it when I make everything the same color. So if I want to make my robot body blue and I changed my mind, I don't want my head to be just blue anymore, you can color a shape with one color first over the whole shape, over the whole color. So if it's a large shape, it'll take you a long time to do because you still have to color it nicely. But I realized, oh man, I don't want to make the whole thing blue. This is a lot of space. I can take this color and find a color I think is going to look really good with it. I might want to look at my color wheel. I know that blue is next to green on the color wheel, so if I go over a space I've already colored, look at how layering the green over the blue changes the color of the blue and makes a bluish green. This green by itself looks way different than the green I am layering over my picture. So I want to see you guys use layering somewhere in your robot. It can be a small area, maybe one of your planets, maybe it's in a button, but somewhere in your picture I want to see you try to put one color over top of another to make a whole new custom color. This is especially helpful if you're like me and you don't have a lot of colors. I only have 8 colors, so I didn't have a bluish green, but putting blue on top of my green can work. This can also work if you already have blue there and you want to take another color like a purple and put it on top. Now I have a bluish purple. So this is a really good way to get other colors, especially if you only have an 8-pack of crayons. The last coloring technique I'm going to share with you is called blending. Blending is a good technique to use if you want to make something look like it's changing colors. So I have my beautiful blue robot body, but maybe this side of the body, I don't want it to be blue anymore. I'm gonna make it change. So I can pick another color. Maybe I'm gonna color it with yellow on this side. If I think back to my primary colors, I know that yellow and blue will mix. But I don't want it to just be one side yellow and one side blue. I want these colors to blend together. So I'm gonna bring the yellow over into the blue, and look, it's making it turn green. So I'm blending one color into another color. So you wanna blend it. Plus you wanna go back and take that first color you used, that blue, and bring it down into the yellow just a little bit so it looks like the color is slowly changing from the yellow into a lighter green, into a bluish green, into your final blue. So you can see going back and forth with your crayons can make a lot of really cool, fun things with your crayons. So even a simple pack of 8 crayons can turn into a lot of different colors. You still have to color the rest of your picture, and everything's gonna get colored from the sky, the planets, everything, unless you want something to be white, like white teeth or white eyeballs or white stars. You want to try to color everything that's supposed to be a color. So keep that craftsmanship going, go nice and slow, stay in the lines, and take your time. Let's see if I speed things up a little bit.